Hey yo, YouTube, what's up? It's your boy Louis Cypher. Look, I know you see the title, but believe me, it's not that kind of video. I'm not here to dog out black men. But in actuality, what I'm just trying to do is we're trying to get some kind of consensus going. We're trying to understand each other because that's really what we need. We just need to be understood right now. And with that said, let's get right on into it. Why do black men fail? It's a hard question with a simple answer. Black men fail because previous generations of black men failed. They didn't accumulate enough wealth and resources and masculine social capital to pass on to the next generation so that they could achieve that rare upon rare prizes, something called a patriarchal family. And by patriarchy, I mean it in the most simplest sense. Patriarchy is a reward structure for productive black men. Young black men are not seeing their productivity go anywhere positive, so they're led astray. That's why you'll see the birth, that's why you see the growing of corner boy culture. You'll see the growth of Peter Pan video game playing dudes who don't have a desire to be family men anymore. We're not seeing where our resources and our efforts are going, so we're just quitting on the game. It is what it is. Now, why did the previous generation fail? Well, once again, that simple thing called the patriarchy, because the other end of the patriarchy is that you have to consolidate wealth and resources among your peer group. And for the most part, black men have been the victim of other men's consolidated patriarchal hoarding of wealth, resources, social capital, etc., etc. That's rule number one. The reason black men are failing is because the patriarchies of the past have been sabotaged. Rule number two is that the price for a black patriarchy is higher than any other community. I'm gonna, what do women want, right? I'm just gonna break it down. If I'm lying, by all means, cut me off. To be an eligible bachelor, you have to make 2/3 the pay of the women in your sexual marketplace group. That means if you look like me, you're gonna have to find an ugly chick and you still make 2/3 her salary. To be marriageable material as it stands right now, they want 6 figures. They want you to make enough for a living. They want you to make a living wage for yourself and them. That means $50,000 a year, 6 figures, 50 for you, 50 for her. She figure out what she wants to do with her life. At the same time, they also want you to stay within your masculine frame. They don't want you deferring authority to them. They want you to be a leader. They want you to have command presence. And at the same time, on top of that, they want you to be authentically black. That means you can't be a yes sir for the white establishment. You can't be conservative. You can't be an Uncle Tom, the usual. So that's the game that they want us to play. 2/3 pay to start, twice their salary to continue, stay masculine, stay black. And for all our efforts, we're still getting a 50% divorce rate. We're still getting cheated on. We're still getting open marriages. That's the game they want us to play. That's the rigged game that we're always complaining about on the internet. So some men are choosing to stay at home or to not develop or to sit back and spit fire at women because that's the cards that we're dealt, and we don't think it's not fair. The game is rigged. That's number two. The high price of black patriarchy in the present. And number three, it's the gender war. Of course it's the gender war. There's this parable called the porcupine problem. Imagine 2 porcupines in the snow. They want body heat. They want warmth. They want something close. They want to be closer to each other. But every time we get close, every time they get close, they prick each other with their insecurities. Sorry about that. They prick each other with their insecurities. They hurt each other. It gets to the point that we're actually afraid of the other gender, and we're over here swallowing black pills to build up the strength to stay apart, and that is not helping us. I think at some point we're going to have to start ingesting some kind of positivity. We need some pink pills, some blue pills, and so I don't know how, but we're going to have to break ourselves off of this black pill addiction. All right, the gender war has to go somehow or some way. Number 4, academia's war against masculinity. And when I say academia, you already know I'm talking about the alphabet community. I'm talking about feminism. And let's not make any mistakes about this. Academia cannot tolerate masculinity. Academia is pushing a new moral virtue, meaning that, sorry about the noise. Academia is putting a new moral virtue where instead of rewarding hierarchies of competency that masculinity thrives on, academia is pushing a new standard of morality where we afflict the comfortable and we comfort the afflicted. That means we attack those on top and we uplift those at the bottom. LGBT rights, women's rights, queer, you get what I'm saying, right? My problem with that is that it's starting off this new paradigm shift where the weaker you are, the more that you're celebrated. So men are wearing dresses, men are pretending to be weak, women are crying on television for attention, nothing's getting done. Academia is almost totally devoid of masculine energy because masculinity has become persona non grata, it's become an oppressive force. And finally, number 5, academia's war against patriarchy, against masculinity, leads to the war of politics, the political war. Because now that academia has destroyed masculinity as a normative code of ethics, as a reward structure for productive men, the state is coming in to swoop in and pick up 60 to 80% of eligible women, and the state is marrying these women instead. The state is offering up housing, companionship, that 2/3 salary, and it's a win-win situation because you don't have to report to the state as a woman. You're not held accountable for your fuckery. You could have as many children as you can. You could do whatever you want. You could you could date whoever you want. You could reward whatever values you choose to. There's not going to be any sense of consequence when you're married to the state. To recap, men fail because our past patriarchies was disestablished by racism and white supremacy. The price for future patriarchies has skyrocketed past what some men are willing to afford or tolerate. The gender war has us mad at each other. I mean, the next time you see Cynthia G, I want you to imagine her as a porcupine looking for heat and warmth, but she's all alone in the snow and she's just spitting out venom. All right, that's 3. 4, academia's war against masculinity, meaning that men are not being told it's okay to be a man, it's okay to have command presence, it's okay to want things your way because you're the one who is risking their neck and their lives to protect and provide for your family and your kin. And number 5, the academia's war against masculinity, moving on to the state war, aka the Democratic Party. They're trying to make vulnerability the standard of achievement. It's becoming a woman's world. And I'm afraid that in a woman's world, men are going to be more self-destructive, that they're going to be more isolated, that they're going to rely on each other more. I could easily imagine that same-sex couples and trans attractiveness becomes the new standard of relationships. For at least the black community first, then it's going to move on to other communities. We are really in serious trouble when it comes to that. That's what we're dealing with. Bad past patriarchy, bad future patriarchy, gender war, academic war, political war. That's why men fail. Now, if I were to offer up a way of solving some of this problem, I don't have all the solutions, but what I could do is recommend that we declare a ceasefire on good people. Like, stop talking bad about good marriages. I would recommend that we start looking into enforcing monogamy through shaming unvirtuous men. I would recommend that we emphasize sexual morality, as in not to be a predator against young women or young men. And learn the arguments of your enemies so that you could overthrow and defeat him. Understand feminism. Understand what they're trying to do when they attack masculinity. You know, that's the problem. All right, so that's all I wanted. I hope I didn't ramble too much. I hope I tried to stay on point. But just to recap, our patriarchy was fucked up in the past. It's going to be fucked up in the future. We got the gender war going on. Academia declared war on productive masculinity, and the state has declared war on men. That's why black men failed. It's been your boy, Black Privilege, aka Louis Cypher. If you have anything to say, go ahead, hit the comment section. And just remember, we just want to be understood. And even if I am at my MGTOW phase right now, and MGTOWs are like I said before, they're on the injured reserve, maybe we should stop attacking women who are on the injured reserve too. Maybe we should stop attacking good women too. Long rant. It's been your boy. Peace out.